4 days ago I bought a certain game, and it's a game I thought I'd never own a real copy of. It's the game for Famicom collecting, I would say. It's that one. Yes. It is Gimmick. I own Gimmick. I found it in Sapporo in Mandarake, and it was priced down. That was why I bought it, because I've seen it in a few other places before. Thing is that every time I've seen it, that is to say I saw it, it cost 35,000 yen, 33,000 yen. I think maybe I saw 30,000 even one time or something. But this one was 19,000. And according to Mandarake, it was because of big damage, and I can't really find it. I asked them to, before I decided, I asked them to show me the damage, and they just said, "Oh well, the sticker's a little faded here." And I was like, "Okay." And the background has this pinkish stuff, which I have no idea where that comes from, but that's nothing I care about. The game works fine. It's no damage there. The cartridge isn't written on. There's no big. It's not cut. It's not broken. There's no problems really. And so, pretty much Mandarake are just very peculiar about their ratings of games. Also, the day before I went there, I bought Adventure Island 3 for only 900 yen because it was big damage, even though I couldn't really find any. It was like this one bit of sticker pulled away or something on the back. It was like, who cares? So, yeah, 19,000 is, I mean, still this much, but it's way down from the other prices I've seen. So I figured when I was thinking about it, like, should I buy this? Because it's a lot of money, but I decided because of a few reasons. First of all, it's the gem. It's the big one of the Famicom collecting, and it's second. When am I ever going to see that kind of price again? It could happen, and I kind of hope it doesn't. But yeah, it's on eBay or whatever. It always goes for more. And like, I have little Samson, Metal Storm, Power Blade 2, which is rare in Japan, on pirate cartridges because they're too expensive to get otherwise. And this is also technically too expensive. It's just that Gimmick is very hard to find on a reproduction cartridge. Actually, it's not that easy. I don't see them very often, and the only pirate I know of is the one Pipe V or Pipe 5, which also is pretty rare. So there's this guy in Sweden who claims he can do one, but then I asked him to do one, and he had some kind of reason that he couldn't do one, or I forget what the reason was. But besides, I wanted the original anyway. But of course, Gimmick, as those of you are aware, is a game by Sunsoft made in 1992, which has great music, at least great quality. For what I've listened to it, the melodies are not as good as Raft World, Batman, and Gremlins 2, but the sound quality is the very best on the Famicom that I've ever heard. It has some extra sound chips in there, and it just sounds amazing. And the game is a platformer. It's cute, kind of like Kirby-ish, but it's very interesting in the way that it sort of has a physics engine to it. It's very specific, and you have a weapon, you charge up the star and you shoot it, and you can also ride the star and jump on it. And it's a very interesting game. The funny thing is, I don't love the game yet. Anyway, I've played it on emulator a few times. I can't beat the first stage, and yeah, but I figure it just takes a long time to get used to, and the controls and everything. So it's not a game I love yet, but I didn't feel I was enough of a reason not to take this opportunity. And another thing about it is that it's super hard. Partly because of the whole physics thing, it takes a long time getting used to, and the clever obstacles, the level design and everything. But if you just beat the game, which is hard enough, you get a bad ending. And to get a good ending, you can't use a continue. And in the Japanese version, you only have 4 lives. In the only localized version, the Swedish version, interestingly enough, which is called Mystery Gimmick instead of Gimmick, by the way, there you had 9 lives, which is nice. But here you only have 4, and if you use a continue, you're gone. You can't get a good ending. And to get a good ending, you also have to find the secret area in all the stages, which is easier said than done. So, yeah, I don't foresee myself getting a good ending, but still. I'm just really... It felt really, really good to get this game finally, and it's one of those games I thought I'd never own it, and I thought I'd never find it for a price that's, well, more reasonable anyway. This is definitely the most expensive game I've ever bought. The second most is Adventure Island 4 at 13,000 yen, and under that I think is Yokai Buster for Super Famicom, which was 800 Swedish crowns. I'll convert that here. I won't be buying a game more expensive than this, I'm pretty damn sure. But yeah, with this game it sort of feels like my collection is complete. Even though it technically isn't, like there's still some games I want. I recently bought Rockman Mega World, although it turned out to be a fake, so I need to get that one. A couple other Mega Man games and some other games in general, but it really gets... I had just like felt really relaxed the whole day after buying that game. It was just like... Although because before I came to Japan, I had that dream. I had a dream that I thought that I was... Well, I'm sure now, and it won't come to pass. The whole pipe dream, ironically, of going to some second-hand store or garage sale or whatever, looking in some kind of cardboard box full of all Famicom games, 100 yen or something, and there's a gimmick, and then I got this for nothing. That's not gonna happen. That's not realistic, actually. Maybe it was realistic 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but now people know what stuff is and what it's worth, so that's not gonna happen. That's also something I thought of before I bought this game. But yeah, I'm just really happy to have this game, and I'm sure all of you game collectors out there can sympathize, that's not the right word, share with my joy in this.